Well, hi everybody. How you doing? George here from GBR Trains. Glad to have you with us today. Well, today's going to be something different. I'm not going to be here in the train room. I am going to be visiting the New England's largest railway museum, the Danbury Railway Museum. And what I was able to do was walk around the inside of the museum and also in the freight yard as well. And the museum is housed in Union Station, which was built in 1903. And they have now take over that space, and the inside is full of memorabilia. And there's a lot of information on early Danbury and the New Haven, Norwalk railroads, the Housatonic Railroad, and the freight lines that used to come through Danbury daily, and the passenger service as well. There's still passenger service coming into Danbury between Danbury and Norwalk. And I did take a picture of the new facility that they're using for the current railroad station. Now, Danbury has had two railroad stations. The first one was right on Main Street, which is now the site of the post office. And of course, that goes back in time. And I do have a picture of it that you will see in the video. And then they eventually moved it to where it currently is now and rebuilt and built a new one in 1903. So what we're going to do is get ready to jump into the video. I will also down below put the website address for the museum so that you can check it out as well. They're getting started now for their October festivities with their pumpkin rides, and they will also have Santa rides later on. So I hope you enjoy the video. We'll see you the next time right here on GBR Trains. So let's go. And in the distance over there is the current Danbury railway station, where it terminates here in Danbury, goes to South Norwalk, and back again. And they do park the engines and coaches here at the Danbury yard. Okay, we're inside the museum, and with all the artifacts they have here is unbelievable. This was the roundhouse at the end of the train yard. It was a 6-bay roundhouse, and they've been restoring it right along. So they had to raise $1 million to construct and maintain and operate that roundhouse. So that is going on. Also, this area is full of the lamps and lanterns that used to be on the engines, different certificates. It's a lot of history in this area for those that have lived in Danbury for many years. Me, 78. And of course, they have HO and O gauge train layouts here. This is the O gauge layout that they run at times. It's quite a large layout. Over here is another HO layout. Danbury, you know, is known as the Hat City because we had many hat factories, and a lot of the merchandise went in and out on those trains. And here comes one of Metro North Railroad's now engines coming in with cars that runs between Norwalk and Danbury. This is a layout of Danbury at about 1950. Okay, here's a layout of Danbury from about 1950, and where that gas ball you see is now where the railroad station is. There's the freight yard I just walked through. In front we have Union Station. As you can see, there's a lot on display here in the museum. is this was the original 1903 Danbury train station, and there's a lot to see and view. It's gauged in different time periods. Well, right in front of me, we're having World War One, going to the war and returning home photos. There's photos, many photos going back in early Danbury. So it's a great place to visit. And a lot of people do come. Matter of fact, they're running a train right now that's going to go to the other side of the museum area, which will show you the turntable, although I'm not scheduled to go on it today. But I will get some photos of it for you and put them up on the website as well. So we're just doing a quick walk around the terminal here in Danbury and seeing some of the artifacts from the Danbury area. A lot of photographs have been taken by many people, and they are on display here at the Danbury Railway Museum. Okay, here we are at the Danbury Railway Museum rail yard, and I'm doing a quick overview of what's here in the rail yard as we're walking through. As you can see, the steam engines, followed by some of the old boxcars, hoppers, and a train fixed so that it would be followed by the Boston, Maine 1451 steamer. It's a 260 Mogul, and this was built in 1907. Nice looking engine. This was restored here, by the way, at the Danbury Railway Museum by many of the volunteers. And as you can also see, they have trucks with the wheels on them, showing people exactly how they were built to carry either passenger cars or freight cars. And here's an FL9, New York Central. This originally was part of the New Haven line at one point, and then they sold it to New York to be part of the New York Central system. Here is a United States Mail Railway Post Office, Pensy, number 6563, and you can see here where they would pick up the mail as they went by the stations. All right, we're allowed to get into the rail car today, and this is by 1910. What's called the Railway Post Office, and it was owned by the Pennsylvania Railroad, and it was leased to the Postal Service Division, and now we have it here since 2005. As you can see as we're walking through, this is where they sorted the mail, put it in the different boxes on the mail car. Here are the bags that they would pick up along the way. And there's where mail would go to various locations. Brewster, Pauling, Katona, all over in New York, Danbury, Newtown, New Milford. This is where all the mail was be assorted as it came on board this rail car. And as we continue walking through, we're going to the far end, and this is quite a nice big car. And here are some of the sacks that they would pull in and drop in and have mail ready to go for delivery. First, I'll go get the picture correctly. And this is the back side of the car with the display. And of course, the postal people did have to have guns in those days to keep things safe. And this is what the cars were. And all this great information is available here at the Danbury Railway Museum. And here we have one of the Bud cars, what I was talking about the other day that I was putting in my museum. This is the New Haven line. A lot of these ran between Danbury and Norwalk, South Norwalk that is, and they're self-propelled, and a couple of them would have a couple of follow-up coaches along with it. But these were the Bud cars that were very popular here in the 60s and 70s on the Danbury-Norwalk line. number 605, with some of the coaches behind it. We have caboose number 19322, part of the New York Rail Central system. By the way, all the restoration done to any of the coaches and engines here has all been done locally right here in Danbury by volunteers who come down and contribute their time and effort to restoring our past history of railroading.